And so if we can bring a sense of play and a sense of joy and a sense of fulfillment to that work, it helps them in such profound ways because they need that same thing. They need to not be trapped in survival mode. Hey everybody, welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I'm joined as always by my partner in podcasting, Emily Grace Deal. Emily, what are we talking about today?
Well, in episode 66, we talked about the signs of burnout.
Yes.
But today we want to talk about the less obvious sign, the secret sign of burnout.
Okay.
So tell me about that.
Well, so let's recap kind of those original signs of burnout, right? It is consistent senses of overwhelm when little things seem like big things. It's consistent sense of fatigue when you go to bed tired and you wake up tired. Consistent sense of cynicism where you're able to find the bad in everything that's good. That is a sign you're burned out. And the last one is a consistent sense of loneliness.
Right.
That you feel utterly alone. And
you're taking on all of it alone.
Yes. There's nobody that's going to understand you. Nobody you can talk to and support you. And so if you're experiencing those signs, that's a sign you're burned out. But there's another one we've kind of come across that I think is really interesting. And it is a loss of a sense of play or a sense of joy. It is this idea, like when we start something, it's fun, right? When you start a new business, we have a lot of talks today about our business and when we started it and what it looked like. And those early days are so exciting. They're unknown, but you're exploring and trying new things and you're curious and they're just fun. They're almost playful. And you know, we always talk about finishing a day tired but fulfilled. Part of that fulfilled is that was fun.
Yeah, there's joy.
There's joy in what you do. And so you want that. And what we find is burnout tends to rob us of that sense of play or that sense of fun. We talked before about a sign of burnout being you go from I get to I have to. You go from the sense of, can you believe we get to do this? Like, I think about it all the time with this podcasting. Can you believe we get to just sit and talk for a living?
Yes.
I think about that with all the work we do with Forward Partners. Can you believe people trust us to help them develop these thriving teams and to have some really hard conversations? We are very much in I get to. And there's a sense of joy that comes from that, a sense of play that it really is a fun process. As we burn out, it becomes a have to. I have to go do this thing.
Yeah, that's
gotta
go
meet with
fatigue
Carl
and the
again.
Overwhelm all just kind of pile in.
It all piles up, and when we switch that, I have to. There's no joy in that. We're not finishing the day with a sense of fun, and man, that was a really enjoyable journey, even if it was difficult.
Right.
It was just difficult.
Right.
And so it's watching for that, and I think that can happen in seasons sometimes. I think we have seasons even as we try to lead ourselves well, try to create those practices. There's still going to be seasons that are harder than others, and there's less of a sense of play. There's more of a sense of survival. And I think that's the thing about this is if we're not having a sense of play and joy, we are really just in survival mode, right?
100%. Because when all you feel like you just have to get up to get through, instead of getting up to get to do it and enjoy it, then that's where it can just become kind of monotonous. Yeah,
it really does, and we lose that joy. And so I think holding on to joy is a very difficult thing to hold on to. That's like holding on to air. How does that work, right? But I think we can create, rather than trying to hold on to joy like it's going to escape us, we can create it. Really showing up as a healthy leader. You know, we talk about that being the key to success. I think it's also the key to enjoying what you do.
Well, and I keep thinking about, as we talk about joy, I think about that Inside Out. Have you seen the Pixar movie Inside Out?
Yeah.
And like there are moments where it's like you can be sad and work through things, but then still be glad that it happened. And so like that's a part of this, right?
Yeah.
And you can have joy in that.
Yes.
But as long as you're still seeing that, it can still have fun in it and can still do it because you enjoy it and not because you have to do it.
Yep. Well, and if we end up, I think, stuck in survival mode, there's a good chance our people get stuck in survival mode too. Like they follow our lead. And if we are trapped, they are trapped. If we are burned out, they are probably burned out.
Yeah.
And so if we can bring a sense of play and a sense of joy and a sense of fulfillment to that work, it helps them in such profound ways. Because they need that same thing. They need to not be trapped in survival mode. And play is interesting because everybody has a different definition, right? You've got some people that are the fun people. I don't consider myself one of the fun people. I find fun in work. I find fun in what we do. I find fun in impact. I don't necessarily find fun in what other people find fun in. However, there is something to having a fun environment. My son is currently working at a local Toyota dealership that we partner with, and he's having a blast. And his manager is a pretty healthy leader. His director, he said every single time he walks into the shop, he goes, "Hey, how's everybody doing today?" Like he is just hosting a show, like he's just launching something, And he said he brings this energy to it, and he really through that creates a great environment where people can enjoy more of what they do. Yeah. And so it can look wildly different bringing play to teams, but I think it's just being intentional about it.
Right.
Like
that's not happening
else.
If you're burned out. You don't have the energy for that.
Yes. And again, we go outward focus versus inward focus, right? If you're burned out, that's that inward focus. How does this affect me? And so I think really understanding how much this matters and how this really is a secret sign of burnout, that loss of play, that loss of joy.
Yeah.
Leaders, let's talk next steps. If you are experiencing some of this, if we're talking about this idea of a loss of play and you're going, oh yeah, that's me. That is a sign you are burned out. That is a sign you are wrestling with burnout and you are losing that battle. And it is a daily battle that we have to fight. I want you to ask the questions. When was the last time you thought about your work and you thought about it in terms of play and fun and joy? Or is it just survival? Is it just checking enough tasks to survive and get through this day, this week, this month, this year, whatever it is? If you are in the middle of burnout, there are some real things you can do every single day to win that battle. So if you answer that question and go, yeah, it's not fun, there is no joy, there is no play, that's a sign of burnout. It is time to ask for help. You need people around you to help you. And there are a lot of other steps to winning the battle of burnout, but one of the biggest is raising your hand and saying, I need help. There are people around you when you are willing to be vulnerable and do that will jump up and say, I would be happy to help. And if you don't believe me, try it. And if you don't have anybody in your life that jumps up to help, email us. We are happy to have that conversation with you. We're happy to point you to resources and tools to help you win the battle with burnout. So if you've lost a sense of play, ask for help. If somebody does want to email and say, I'm burned out, now what? Where do they email us?
lab@forwardpartners.net.
lab@forwardpartners.net. One of the resources we make available is a constant stream of leadership content about winning the battle with burnout. And we do that on Facebook, Instagram, and we do a ton of work on LinkedIn where we love connecting with people. Where do they find us on those platforms?
@ForwardPartner.
@ForwardPartner. Thank you for this conversation. Hopefully we've had fun while we've done it. Thank you, John, with Porchlight Productions for producing for us. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening and continuing on this journey with us. We will see you next time right here in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.